The Education Foundation Champions for Learning 2014 Golden Apple is presented by the following sponsors. Good evening. I'm NBC2 anchor Kelly Burns, and welcome to the 2014 Collier County Golden Apple Awards.
And I'm NBC2 Senior Chief Meteorologist Robert Van Winkle. For the next hour, we will introduce you to the 5 teachers who won this prestigious award. But first, a little background.
A group of business leaders established the Education Foundation, now called Champions for Learning, in 1990. They believed children and their education is one of the best investments a community could make in its future.
Today we're going to read If You Take a Mouse to the Movies.
The foundation began with a Golden Apple teacher recognition, along with funding innovation in the classroom, grants, and connecting teachers to real-world experiences. And other programs directly serve students.
She makes me want to learn math, and I really enjoyed it this year.
The Take Stock in Children Scholarship and Mentoring program has afforded hundreds of students the opportunity to go to college. Founded by the community, Champions for Learning has often served as the catalyst and collaborative force for engaging the community in schools countywide.
So much of what we do as an organization is to bring that community together, and then to find those ways that we can align those relevant real-world experiences with a classroom.
In 2007, Connect Now took that community engagement to a new level. Over 18 months, participants learned how to be inclusive, respectful, and how to build relationships that are productive. And those lessons learned through the process continue every day through the work of the organization. Entering its 25th year, Champions for Learning still lives by its core values, mission and goals, building innovative models in learning. A prime example is at Golden Gate High School. A program there helps more students prepare for post-high school education and future careers.
It's always about the kids and the students and their learning. I think that becomes the focus.
Serving students through teachers is fundamental, and Golden Apple allows Champions for Learning to highlight and share the best practices of teachers through the recognition program.
You've got administrators, you've got community leaders, you've got parents, and then most importantly, you've got the students themselves. So to be able to focus and provide the leadership to the students and nurture them and produce successful students is an amazing job. So to be able to honor the best of the best is a great thing for us to be able to do.
The Education Foundation Champions for Learning knows that investing in students and teachers can make for a better tomorrow. So they've made it simple to donate. Just text APPLE to 40691 or head over to championsforlearning.org.
Narrowing it down to just 5 teachers out of hundreds in Collier County is a long process.
To get here, first we have to go back. Golden Apple recipients are recognized for practices that impact student learning. Teachers applied for the Golden Apple Award back in the fall. The community-based selection committee picked 41 teachers to interview. They were treated to lunch at Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Wine Bar, just one of many ways those selected are honored throughout the process. Then, out of those interviewed, 25 are surprised as a teacher of distinction. Each of them are awarded $500 in cash.
So thanks a million, and thanks for being here.
In February, a special breakfast at McDonald's with Ronald himself, where each teacher took home a specially designed and framed McDonald's placemat and matching tumbler. The selection committee visited the classrooms of all the teachers of distinction to view their practices in action. From there, they selected the 5 Golden Apple recipients.
Amazing, amazing, because I've never thought of myself as a Golden Apple winner. I just love what I do.
Then come the tears. In one whirlwind day, 5 teachers are announced as Golden Apple recipients in surprise classroom visits.
I love my students. I love teaching. It's just great. I'm shaking still. It's so exciting.
The prize patrol highlights their work with a Golden Apple.
I didn't expect it. There are so many great teachers out there.
Each one of these teachers honored for their best practice, from innovation to real-world experience and engaging parents, all celebrated for their achievements and the lasting impression they leave on their students.
This year there is a new opportunity. Suncoast Credit Union Foundation provided a $5,000 grant to each Golden Apple teacher so they can adapt and share their practices.
In Collier County, we have been supporting Champions for Learning, the Collier County Education Foundation, for many, many years.
Greg Pastanen with Suncoast Credit Union knows the mission.
At Suncoast, we really feel that education is important. In 1991, we founded our foundation. We created our foundation, which has the mission to support the education, health, and emotional well-being of children.
That support created by a happy union.
At Suncoast, we're very, very proud to align ourselves with the Education Foundation in Collier County, Champions for Learning. We do that primarily through Take Stock in Children program, as well as the Teacher Classroom Grant program, and of course Golden Apple.
And if you bank at Suncoast, you are supporting education through every purchase made with your debit card.
So if you live in Collier County and you use your card in Collier County, the 2 cents for every transaction you do goes back to Collier County for supporting children in education.
Money well spent.
I think the most important place where we can give back.
And those grants, Pastanen says, is money well invested.
Supporting children and helping them develop into the adults that are going to lead us through the next century.
It takes a collaborative effort, hard work, and dedication year-round to make something like this happen.
But for the 5 Collier County teachers you're about to meet, this year is special. Our first classroom visit is to see Adamwinkles, a science as related arts teacher at Mike Davis Elementary.
Adams had the unique opportunity to incorporate innovative equipment into his classroom, and that's just one part of this teacher's tech-savvy approach to reaching his students. Adamwinkles incorporated technology, scientific investigation, and innovation into his Science as Related Arts class at Mike Davis Elementary School. This teacher embraces the opportunity to teach every student in the school over the course of a rotation every 6 days. Adam has developed a connection with science experiments and the classroom by flipping the classroom, using his own YouTube videos to tie the lesson back to the real world. Being his own co-teacher has allowed Adam to accommodate all learning needs in his classroom and enabled him to reach his students, whom he calls digital natives, in a variety of unique and effective ways.
Okay, so you're going to use this as a wheel? Now, how is that going to roll if you taped it to the box? How would you... Okay. So if you put the pencil through there, would it roll? Okay. So how would you connect that to the box?
I was homeschooled from 4th grade to 12th grade. And when I was in the classroom, I saw the necessity for teachers, especially male teachers, ones that cared for their students. Being homeschooled, I got to see a true teacher, a really good teacher, of course my mother and my father, who loved me as a student, and that affected me for life. And I knew that from that point on, I needed to serve and help students everywhere with that same passion, that same love, that same drive. Well, my best practice integrates technology because I use YouTube. I use Edmodo and Discovery Education a lot for assignments, and I also I also use Class Dojo for classroom management, which is a point accumulation system. And after students get so many points, for example, if they get 300 points, they are able to help me produce one of my STEM videos for the following week.
I enjoy Mr. Winkle's class because he's fun, he's different from other teachers, and he uses STEM vids for us so we can learn easier at home instead of coming to school like on Sundays or Saturdays. We can watch it at home. Much funner than other teachers, he does experiment with the class and fun activities.
Adam doesn't just flip his classroom, he takes it a step further and creates a video format that rewards students in an interactive way. It is a fun, personalized way to encourage the students that brings the real world into the classroom and the classroom into the home, embracing the idea that technology and learning are everywhere.
He loved it. Oh, he loved it. Every day when I pick him up, he's like, Mom, I have to tell you what I learned today, and you know, from Mr. Winkle, and what we're going to do, and you know, let's go to see we can do it on the weekend, and let's go to see we can see it somewhere, that kind of stuff.
My best practice started from going to see Lodge McCammond that Dr. Patton brought in, called Flipping the Classroom. And what Flipping the Classroom was you tape a 5 to 10 minute lesson before you come to class and show it to the students either before or have them watch it at home. Now with our students' demographic, it's hard to service that for them to watch an experiment at home. So what I've done is I've taken that and I've applied it to their take-home assignment. I apply a 2 to 3 minute video that reinforces what we've done in the classroom so they can watch it once in the classroom and then they can watch it at home if they have the opportunity or the technology. If they don't feel left out. They still have that opportunity to share. And then I take that one step further where at the end of our assignments, I flip the flipped classroom. I have them take a video and share it with me on my YouTube video. Nobody else sees it.
Yes, I'm very glad because he's like, he's the only person I know that he won the Golden Apple, and I think he really deserves it because he's a great teacher.
One thing you will see in this teacher's arsenal that's truly unique is Google Glass. Adam applied to be a tester, and with the support of the Collier County School District and ASP, he now utilizes it to enhance the classroom experience.
I use YouTube videos. I put myself doing science experiments at home, and I found that a lot of the students enjoy, instead of watching, you know, what does the fox say or something else, they love seeing Mr. Winkle on YouTube. Whether I have 1 subscriber or 100, they love seeing their teacher doing something that they enjoy. Last year I flipped the flipped classroom as a test to see what exactly would happen. So our science scores last year in 5th grade, this time the exact same assessment, the exact same comparing the data. Our baseline till now, we did go 20% up, which was what we did last year. However, we're 40% above what we were last year at the same time on the same test. So we have increased significantly based on the comparison between the two data. So showing them that I care, that I'm there for them, that I'm there to help them, that really truly engages them. Knowing that somebody is there for them all the time is something that they love.
Our next stop is Leigh Leigh High School to see Suzanne Shapansky in action in her honors level math class. This teacher has used innovative technology to remove social barriers and peer pressure, letting her students shine. At Leigh Leigh High School, we find a math teacher who has used technology to overcome some of the social and peer challenges that face honor level students. Suzanne not only addresses the unique challenges facing these students, but she also reaches the varying grade levels and different learning styles in her classroom with great success. Students are set up in pairs and encouraged to work together. Then she utilizes the TI navigators with quick polls to further remove peer pressure, and the results are increased comprehension and happy students.
So equals y minus 53. Then what he realized is he had to take out a 2. We can't complete the square if we have a coefficient other than 1. So we pulled out the 2. That left him with x squared plus 10x. And then this is the blank that he's going to fill in.
I think that I always knew at some level that I wanted to be a teacher. My dad was a 7th grade science teacher for 30 years in Pennsylvania. And I loved going to his classroom, writing on the board, standing at the podium, pretending I was the teacher. And at home, I had my own classroom set up in the living room, and I used to teach my stuffed animals. And so playing school was just something that I did from an early age. I love the subject that I teach. I enjoy it, I get excited about it, and I try to pass on my enthusiasm to my students. I want them to understand that math is something that can be fun, that you do use in your everyday life. And I constantly try to point out to my students, even if you're not going to be using this particular subject, somebody out there in the real world is. If you want to do engineering, this is when you might use it. If you want to do architecture, this is when you might use it. So I really try to share my love of the subject with my students, get them excited about it, and realize that no matter what they do, they're going to be using the math in at least some of the pieces of the math that we learn in their adult lives.
I enjoy having 45 minutes of class with Ms. Shabansky. She's got an amazing personality. She always makes math fun, which most teachers can't actually do. So, I really enjoy spending, those 45 minutes every single day of the week.
Ms. Shabansky challenges every student, and I've been challenged a couple times by her. And I think it's trigonometric equations. They were a little hard, and I came in once at lunch to get help from Ms. Shabansky. And, throughout the class I would ask questions about the subject, and she would always make sure that I understood what I was having problems with.
This teacher has earned the trust and appreciation of her students by using innovative ways to keep them challenged and making sure they know they have her full support as well as the support of their peers.
Well, coming from a parent standpoint, I think the most important thing that I've seen from Ms. Shabansky is the communication that she has with the parents. I get texts from her and emails when there's a test coming up, and it's nice to have that interaction with her and knowing what's coming up for the kids and how to help prepare them at home as a parent. As far as technology, I believe that everything that she uses are tools for today's learning. I appreciate that she uses different tools to get the kids to learn in different ways.
I think that she's a really hard worker. I think that she takes time, to help out students because that's what she loves. So I think that she's very well deserving of this award.
Ms. Shabansky getting the Golden Apple Award. She is engaged with the parents as well as the students, and it shows. And she's nominated by people that are with her every day, and I just think that's amazing.
Ms. Shabansky, I am so glad that you've won this award, and enjoy it because you really do deserve it. Congratulations.
I have my students for 49 minutes each day, and for them to just sit there and watch me do something on the board can be very, very boring. So what I try to do is I try to get them involved. The first thing that they do when they come in is they have something to do. They have a problem to work on. It's a review of what we did yesterday or possibly a review of what we did last week. But they're doing something from the minute they walk in. And then we move into the homework, and again, they're doing it. I ask for volunteers to put it on the board. So they're constantly getting a chance to show what they know to others.
By providing the security of anonymity to her students and allowing them to ask questions in a non-threatening way, Suzanne has been able to dramatically increase comprehension of a difficult subject and make it something the students look forward to learning. Her lifelong passion for teaching inspires the next generation. For this, we are all thankful.
Teaching at Leigh Leigh is very, very special to me. I graduated from this high school And this was not an accident that I ended up here. I knew, even before I graduated from high school, that I wanted to come back here, that I was going to come back here and give back to the school that gave me so much. Leigh Leigh has a very special place in my heart, and there's absolutely no place I would rather teach.
Our next teacher can be found at Immokalee High School, teaching Physics 1 and elective honors classes. Frederick has found a unique way to make a difficult subject like physics fun, keeping his students engaged. Our next teacher is from Immokalee High School. Frederick teaches physics with innovative technology. Using his flipped classroom model and engaging laboratory activities, his students are excited about learning, and it shows. Frederick has made his classroom student-centered, consisting of 2 components, video and applied experiments. Frederick prepares flipped videos to relay direct instructions to his students for their laboratory activity, which allows him to circulate as a facilitator during the extended hands-on lab exercises.
Has the arrow coming in from the top, NPN has the arrow going out from the bottom, and so that direction is important. No, that one, that's variable resistor. So all that would be, you've got coming down, just give a little resistor, because I've had a lot of great teachers in my life, and my high school physics teacher taught me things beyond the classroom that I'm still using over a decade later, and he's pretty much why I became a teacher. I do like to explain things, I like physics and enjoy all that, but the classroom atmosphere and the ability to work with students and to change students. Right now I do a lot helping students prepare for college, whether it's academically or even just preparing for the college lifestyle. And that's something that was done for me, and I'm glad I'm able to do it for others.
Really cool teacher. Like, he actually is involved not just in teaching, but in after-school programs as well, like the Miracle program and anything else. Like, if we have, like just last month or so, we went on an engineering expo, and it was very fun with him to go there. With him, like, it's not ever a boring day. It's just the point where if we're taking notes with the flip videos, or if we're building circuits in the back in the lab stations, it's always a fun day in physics classroom.
It's really different than any other classes. It's more hands-on than regular classes, and we get to do a lot of labs. We use iPads, for example, instead of like a lesson where he just goes in front of the classroom and talk. He actually just records himself, and then he gives us iPads to share with our group, and we can either just stop whenever we want, or we can go back, and he explains it so well that you actually are like, wow, is that how easy it is? Like, at first I thought it was hard, but now it's so easy to just do.
The lesson is delivered across different class periods consistently with video, allowing Frederick to focus on making the most of his time with students. It reduced the teacher component, and the kids are thriving with this student-driven teaching model called a Phys-style flipped classroom.
I am the site director for the after-school program, and we run a 21st Century grant. He comes into the classroom 2 days out of the week for 90 minutes, and they will build robots, trebuchets. He's very engaged with the students, to where the students are taking lead on the projects. Mr. Rimler is also a good role model and mentor to not only my son, but to other students here in the Immokalee. I am very grateful that he is part of the Miracle After School program, not only as the lead teacher, but a friend and a mentor to the after-school students.
How do I motivate students? It comes down to what I would like to do. I'm a very hands-on person. I like to take things apart, put things together, understand how they work and why they work, how different pieces of the puzzle fit together. And so I think by showing that to the kids and building their interest in the subject, that will provide the motivation. I just try and share my interest.
He is the type of teacher who understands students, makes the classroom really fun, and overall he tries to teach us what we're supposed to learn.
Physics is the real world, and so anything that they learn in this class conceptually, more so than the specific numbers, will impact their lives. They'll have a better understanding of how the world around them works. I want my students to make themselves proud. You can talk about making your parents proud, making me proud. I want my students to find something that they enjoy doing and be able to commit to it.
Both learning and engagement are given a big boost by this teacher's practice of keeping it student-centered. The results are undeniably and overwhelmingly positive. Frederick is creating a fun and focused learning environment for his students, and we're only just beginning to see what they can do, armed with this knowledge and passion.
I mean, obviously, if one of my students were to change the world and I had a hand in it, that would make me feel great. But more so than changing the world, I just really want them to succeed on their own terms. Whatever happens to the community, to the world as a result, as long as they're succeeding with what they want to do, I'm more than happy.
Before we look at the final 2 Golden Apple winners, let's go inside the classrooms of all the honorees recognized this year.
Now, each class prepared a unique way of introducing the Golden Apple recipients, Teachers of Distinction, and the Collier County Teachers of the Year.
Hey, guess what? What? Did you know Nostalgia's middle name is Science? No way! Yes way! Zoomies! Fruits! Vegetables! Herbs! Introduce Nostalgia and turn Futuristemologists!
We're proud to introduce our awesome teacher, Mr. Anderson.
Go Titans! Did you hear about that reality show director, #show?
She's all people ever talk about. She even had her name in front of the school.
It's just crazy to have a reality show. I mean, yeah. No, it's just reality.
Only Miss Bell.
School is cool! And so are teachers! I'd like to introduce my teacher, Mrs. Cornell. I would like to introduce my teacher, Miss Block. Oh, yeah! Welcome to STEM Sleuths, where we will investigate and explore science, technology, engineering, and math. This is Mr. Barduis from Poinciana Elementary. Responsible! Responsible! Respectful! L-T-E! Be the best that we can be!
This is our cool teacher, Miss Boswell.
When you're with Miss Krause, it's always a great day. She teaches new things in all different ways.
She's fun, she's low, she's sick like a mouse. It's always a great day when you have Miss Krause.
Except for small middle, every day is a great day to be safe cat when you have Miss Krause. Roar!
Mr. Bush just helps us read and write. We shine like neon lights.
When you need a song, well, a homework school, who you gonna call? Math Mama!
We ain't afraid of no math.
Thanks to our awesome teacher, Miss Loyal!
We would like to introduce
Miss Celeste Duplass, who helps us to be
Good thinkers!
who helps us to become
Good people!
who inspires us to
Make a difference! And that's what I like about you. That's what I like about you. That's what I like about you.
But soft, what light from yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Jute and Mrs. Garbo is the sun. Arise, fair sun, that thou may teach us more about Shakespeare and light our path to a higher learning.
Behold, our teacher, Mrs. Garbo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you Lieutenant Colonel Paul Guerilla.
Motivated, motivated, downright dedicated. You check us out, you check us out. Go Colonel!
Introducing Miss Gilcher,
aka the Gilch.
She's creative.
She's awesome.
She makes me read.
She's funny.
Yo, where's the Gilch? Is that little John?
Who am I?
Super teacher!
Who are you?
Super kids! Who's leader of the class's teacher meeting? MRS, MCP, H and double E. Hey there, hi there, ho there, our teacher Miss McPhee. MRS, MCP, H and double E. Miss McPhee, she's the best. Miss McPhee, she's the best. Introducing the man who can count to infinity, not once, but twice. The man who can win a game of Connect 4 in 3 moves. The man who can touch MC Hammer, Mr. Merrill.
Welcome to Immokalee Technical Center in the Heavy Equipment Mechanics program. I would like to introduce Mr. Moore, our outstanding Teacher of the Year. He is preparing us for a great career repairing diesel engines and big machines. With what he is teaching us now will prepare me to be a very successful man in the world.
This is our teacher, Mrs. Nyman.
Our teacher is Miss Pelletier, and we're here to say, Miss Pelletier is the greatest teacher in every way, every way. We love to learn, we think it's play. She makes new jokes along the way. So, show our pride and sing her praise, and cheer and shout, hooray, hooray!
Welcome to Mr. Rimner's class where physics comes to life.
And it's a roller coaster of fun.
We would like to introduce our wonder-filled teacher, Mrs. Roche.
This is our wonderful math teacher, Miss Scott.
Welcome to Mr. Shore's class where soda is not used for drinking. It is used for
Math. This would be high. Debates.
60 million adults are obese. 20% of our population.
Science. Interesting. Wow.
Educational.
We are proud to introduce our wonderful teacher, Mr. Staros.
Okay, class, let's see the equation we were working on. Loves teaching plus loves math equals X. Let's see what you submitted. Presenting our teacher, Mrs. Shapansky.
Introducing our top Trojan, Miss Williams.
Order in the classroom, order in the classroom. All rise for the teacher that needs no introduction, the skillful and straightforward Miss Lisa Wills.
Welcome to Mrs. Bosker's Busy Bee Kindergartner class. Give me an F. Give me a U. Give me an N. What does that spell? Fun! Introducing our fun teacher, Mr. Winkle.
There's simply no debating that Ryan Shore's best practices deliver fantastic results. His students are motivated, inspired, and passionate about their class debates and about this Pelican Marsh Elementary teacher. Next, we make a stop at Pelican Marsh Elementary School, where you'll meet Ryan Shore, teacher of students in a gifted cluster, who enables and motivates his class with healthy debate. Ryan knows that gifted children face the same challenges as any other. Why he's a standout educator is because of how he's keeping students focused and getting great results by debating. Utilizing the flipped classroom model via a Class Edmodo page, it's like a Facebook for the classroom. For homework, students read articles, write responses, and debate online, and they love it.
So, two things. As you're reading that article, I want you to think about those two things. How much does it cost to build these spaceships? And how long does it take to build these spaceships? See if you can find those answers in that article. I do think at least one of those answers is going to be in there.
I think every teacher has one of those. For me, it's Mrs. Buttonbaum, my 6th grade teacher. And you know, to this day, I remember activities that we did, and that's what was so important about her class and really me getting into education, was that she made learning fun every day. I always wanted to be in class, and that wasn't true for a lot of my academic career beyond that. But in 6th grade, I remember learning the Greek alphabet. I still know it. I remember mummifying a chicken. I still remember that. And just with some of the different cultures we studied, and the way she made learning so enjoyable, so fun, so engaging, and made sure that we always learned what we needed to know in addition to having fun. I've kind of based my whole teaching philosophy off of what I learned in that 6th grade classroom. I make sure that every lesson I do has some sort of flair in it that's going to keep the kids interested, keep the kids engaged, but it's still reaching the standards that we need to reach.
Mr. Shore's class is so much fun because he makes you laugh all the time, and when you have to do something, he makes you want to do it. When we do debates, it's like way more fun because the other teachers, they just have to write down the facts. They don't get to debate about it.
The debates have been an amazing way for kids to build confidence, build reading skills, practice problem solving, to look for text evidence, which is super important in today's reading curriculum. But the debates really came from some gifted endorsement classes that I took, and I was always hearing we should be doing debates, we should be doing Socratic seminars, but there was really nothing out there for debates. There's at the middle school level, at the high school level, there's debate clubs, there's debate teams, and so I've kind of built my own process appropriate to the elementary level, where the kids are building background knowledge, where they're reading, where they're researching, where they're collaborating and sharing their ideas, so that in the end they have these wonderful, well thought out, articulate responses. And I think that's what's been the most rewarding, and the student, as far as student outcomes go, the kids are coming up with these brilliant responses. And you think a debate's going to go one way, and then it takes a 90-degree turn, and all of a sudden you have this kid who doesn't say 3 words all year stand up in front of the class and present their speech or present their thinking or their findings, and it just blows everybody away.
When I knew Mr. Shore, he was, I think, kind of highly regarded as a math teacher, but my daughter had him for writing, and as a professional writer, I'm probably going to be most critical of any writing teacher. I mean, he was constantly encouraging them to persevere intellectually, and they felt more confident talking about their ideas and expressing their opinions. I remember getting home an email. I'm sending home some very hard math problems, and they are not going to be able to solve these right away, but I want them to struggle, and I want them to get this experience of them struggling intellectually and solving the problems and working through it and persevering. Our kids today, they're going to have to solve very difficult, complex problems in the future, and so just the experience of them learning to struggle is going to stick with them for their life.
I'm trying to do my very best to instill not just the skills that they need to be successful in life, but also the love of learning and the curiosity and the excitement about being a student and learning new things. Because if they have that, then they can literally go anywhere. There is no limit to what they can and can't do.
And I want them to know also that it's not intelligence that's going to get you there necessarily. It's a drive, it's a will to work, it's perseverance, and those are all traits that I try to instill in my students daily as well, trying to inspire that drive and that curiosity.
I think he deserves the Golden Apple because I wish that I could clone him through every grade. I mean, he's so engaging with the kids. You can tell that he has a very bright intellect and he just conveys his own love of learning to the kids.
Well, no one is arguing that this teacher has certainly found a winning formula for success with his students by combining technology and debates. The real-world relevant topics of the debates are engaging and leave a lasting impact on his students, creating a thirst for knowledge and equipping them with the tools to confidently communicate in any situation, paving their roads to success in the future.
Since I've won the Golden Apple, actually, I've had several parents kind of sending emails and reflecting on some of the things that they particularly enjoyed what their student did in the class. When you give kids all these opportunities to express their talents in different ways, and when you give them opportunities to try new things, then you never know. I mean, that might be what sticks with them for the rest of their life. You hope that what you say, something of what you said sticks, and you hope that you've motivated kids to be better people and be lifelong learners.
Our final Golden Apple teacher has a great way of making her students shine. Jacqueline Williams, an exceptional education teacher at Leigh Leigh High School, brings the real world into practice in her classroom, on campus, and out in the community. At Leigh Leigh High School, we find an exceptional education teacher who is quite exceptional herself, Jacqueline Williams. Jacqueline teaches life skills to incredible students with a variety of intellectual disabilities. Most of her teaching is done out in the community. Her hands-on focus on real-life experience is critical to help prepare her students as they transition from school to the real world and ultimately to independence.
Or do I have to subtract dollars from dollars? Dollars from dollars. So what would be the best way to figure out how much if I wanted one of something and it costs $5 for two? Do I want more of it or less of it? I want less, so I would probably divide.
Well, actually, I didn't just become a teacher. I believe I was born to teach. You know, some things like LeBron James is good at basketball, I'm good at teaching. That's what I do. So I look at my students and I remember being there because school was hard for me. My brother and my sister, they got it. I had to study extra hard, you know, just for that B. So when my kids are saying to me, Miss, I don't understand, I get that. So I try to find inventive ways to help them to understand that it's okay, you know, we'll get there. It may take us a little longer, but eventually we will get there.
I enjoy being in her class a lot. Plus, I love seeing her every day, every morning. And I just have fun in the class a lot. And it's just really fun. Like, we go to the garden on Thursdays, we cook on Fridays, plus work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. It's a little boring for work, but it's experiences to help me and others to learn how to work.
When we come inside here, like, she's been teaching us like a bunch of stuff, and we can be ourselves, and then we fit in with each other, and we have more confidence with each other. And with her, when we have problems stuff, we can trust her. To us, we see her like our second mom.
Jacqueline emphasizes practices in her class that prepare her students for the real world, changing their lives forever. She also shares her unique teaching style and resources with other teachers throughout the district.
Ms. Williams makes this a great class. She's impacted my daughter's life in so many ways. My daughter's self-esteem is back. She comes home every day, she's laughing, she's smiling, and she's telling me about all the amazing things that she's had a chance to do at school. She makes her feel like an important member of the classroom community as well as the school community. My daughter's trying new things. Because of her, my daughter is now working 3 days a week at Publix. She volunteers at the botanical gardens. She collects donations for local charities. She's a registered voter now. and she is just becoming an active member of the community, which is what we want for all our children, and it wouldn't be possible without Miss Williams.
Everything is tied back to the real world in here. Even when we go to the botanical gardens, we're looking at road signs. Okay, what does this sign mean? What does this sign mean? Or we're talking about something that we studied in the classroom. Do you guys remember when we talked about this? Oh yes, miss. Okay, this is where it comes from. When we're in the garden, we're looking at the different plants and things. We're constantly, okay, do you guys remember what this plant was for? Do you remember what this plant was for? So everything we do is tied back into our community.
One-on-one work with me, help me with things I'm like in trouble on, struggling with things. And of course, put me in the front of the class like other teachers don't. They don't have I'm not being rude or anything, but they don't put me in the front like that my IEP goes in. They're different than Miss Williams.
What any mother would want for their children. You know, you want them to be successful. You want them to always do their personal best. You want them to be happy. And I just want them to be confident in whatever they do, to know that they can always come home. They can always call me. They can always come back here. And, you know, I just want them to be successful in whatever they choose to do and to know that I'm here for them no matter what. Gigi, when she first came to Leigh Leigh, she was afraid to walk from the front door just straight back to my room. They wanted me to send someone up to escort her every morning. So I told her, say, we're in high school now. For 1 week, I will have somebody walk you from here to here. And she's like, okay. I said, because I know you can do it. So we did that for 1 week, and the next Monday, Dad wanted to walk with her. I'm like, no, she has to do this on her own. I'm like, it's just one straight line. She can do this. So she did that, and she was very confident in doing it. Now Gigi goes all around the high school by herself. She's not afraid anymore, you know. And at one time, we couldn't get her to go anywhere without somebody with her. So now she does it on her own.
Jacqueline integrates academic lessons with life skills to students with disabilities to reach beyond scholastic goals, to equip, prepare, and inspire students to strive for the possibilities that await them and for a remarkable life. She prepares her students with real-world experience and education that will benefit them and their families for years to come.
Could not think of anything else I would rather do. I can definitely say that I never, ever come to work. Never come to work.
Thank you for watching the Education Foundation Champions for Learning 2014 Golden Apple Awards and for recognizing the best practices of these teachers.
You can start now to nominate a teacher for next year. Just head over to championsforlearning.org/thank-a-teacher. And while you're there, you can donate to help the foundation continue investing in the community or text APPLE to 40691. Thank you for being a champion for learning.